Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for a general collection of queer memes. Because I have a lot saved on my phone and I didn't know when to use them, so we're doing it now. Before we get started though, you know the drill, go get hydrated. Grab some tea or some water and then come back. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. Wait, people still straight? Mamma mia. Honestly, this is what happens when you spend too much time on the internet and all your friends are queer, and then you just have to go back to work or something and you realize that people are straight because you kind of forgot about it for one blissful minute. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm gay. I'm getting more and more tired every single day. I think you might just be getting old. Because today, well, for me, it kind of actually varies from day to day. I don't get more tired every day. Doesn't mean I'm not gay. Whoops. Girl, how does lesbian sex work? Mom, both people come. Dad, this bitch just keeps smiling. Well, the good news is, now that you've been called out, which probably took a few years, you can start becoming better, becoming a better partner to your wife. Come on. Mom, Dad, I'm gay. Unsupportive parents, shoving their LGBT youth. Don't worry, we'll support you. Thanks. Stop grooming my child. Literally, you can't disown your child or push your child away or try to shame them out of their identity, which, by the way, doesn't even work. They might just pretend that it was a phase in order to be safe and not be mentally or physically assaulted every day, which I shouldn't have to point out is an absolutely horrible thing to do, especially to your own kid. But you can't do that shit and then pretend like elder queer people taking care of that child is grooming. That's not what grooming is. That's just being supportive, but you wouldn't understand that, would you? Okay, rather than coming out, I think we should look at it as though we're letting people in. Understanding that it's a privilege for people to know you and not everyone deserves it or is ready for that privilege. Prioritize yourself and your happiness and your feelings over everything. Yeah, that's kind of true. And I love the whole, you just have to come out once and then it's fine. Because you kind of meet new people, or they forget. If they forget on purpose and just pretend it didn't happen. Honestly, you don't need to let those people in again, necessarily. If you want to, sure, tell them, but that's just a shitty thing to do. But it's kind of true, because you're just letting people know, hey, this is who I am, and you're introducing more of yourself to them, so you obviously don't need to do that with everyone. The gay spectrum. Infra-gay, kinda gay, the visible spectrum, to hella gay, ultra gay. Wait, are you saying there are people so gay they're unable to be seen by humans? Asexuals, pansexuals, bisexuals, and aromantics. Kinda true. So many humans just have bad eyesight, you know? They just have bad eyesight and don't see queer people. Even bisexuals struggle so much. You would think that bisexuality, which has been more common or known longer and been a term for longer, you think that by now a lot of people would recognize it, right? But they can't see it. They just think that you're gay and in denial, or just doing it for attention. Come on, straight people, get it together. A no vote is a yes to real marriage. Only one of these works. Only one of these is a real seatbelt. And only one of these is a real marriage. It's biology, not bigotry. If If it's biology, not bigotry, then why does my pussy tingle when I see women? It's biology. I mean, you have a point. You have a point. I love the whole comparing people to objects in general, because it doesn't make sense. No one's gonna argue that the top seatbelt isn't the best seatbelt option. But comparing seatbelts to people or relationships just doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't make sense. Come on. You know what is a good marriage to me, or a real marriage? It's where you actually like your partner and can communicate with them, and not just go around and be like, well, I actually kind of hate my partner, but we have to be together now because of the kids or whatever. That's bullshit. Come on. What are you doing, straight people? Now, time to sleep. I've used up all my gay. It's just sad when that happens around like 10 a.m. because you're so surrounded by straight people that it just seems to drain your gay, because, you know, like being around other queer people kind of refills your gay, and that being around too many straight people kind of drains it. So, you know, that's why queer people are constantly tired and need to take naps. Or drink iced coffee. You know, that also helps. Translate the sentence. I have 2 dads. Good for you. Good for you. I hope they're supportive parents. You know, I think this is actually one I screenshotted myself. Because I like Duolingo memes. Because they keep doing it. And it's really cute. Because that's the kind of queer representation that is like really cool, because it's just like so casual. They kind of just like mix it. You know, like sometimes you have sentences that says, whatever, my dad is taller than my mom. And then you have just like casual sentences mixing in queer representation. So we love it. Thank you, Duolingo. Someone. Oh, so you identify as me. I don't identify as gender fluid. I am gender fluid. I identify as a bitch. Get it straight. Come on. Well, actually, get it right. Get it right. Don't get it straight, please. Don't get anything about me straight, but get it right. You know? Okay, say it with me. Love isn't always romantic. The closest person in the world to you doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Platonic relationships are just as valid, if not more. People being really close doesn't equate to romance. Yeah, I feel like we've been over this plenty in my last video, where we talked about aromanticism and asexuality, but the whole just assuming people are dating because they're close, and honestly, the whole as soon as like a toddler even plays with a little girl in his kindergarten, it's always like, oh, you have a little girlfriend. Like, dude, they're 3. Chill. Literally just chill. Honestly, I'm so sick of all this gender neutral stuff. I'm switching to gender evil. What is gender evil? Is gender evil, because there are like gender neutral names, right? Are the gender evil names the people who just choose like contradicting names? So they have like a typical male name and a typical female name as a second name. So they'll just be called like James Elizabeth or something instead of like something gender neutral. Is that what we consider gender evil? And just like purposefully mixing up so many things that are considered masculine and feminine that it's not looking gender neutral, it's just looking gender evil because it's so confusing to cishet people. Is that what it means? Because then I'm switching to, let's do it. When my mom was pregnant with me, she was in the pub and this random creepy elderly woman that nobody ever saw before or since told her that she was gonna have a boy, and when I was born, everyone was like, the creepy lady was wrong, but it turns out I'm trans and the pub witch was right. I was foretold by the pub witch. Witches are always pro-trans culture. Transphobes cannot be witches. That's so funny. It seems like such a strange thing to happen. Just like imagine you're pregnant and some creepy lady that no one knows and no one ever sees again just walks up to you and says, yeah, you're gonna have a boy. That's kind of weird. Like, it's not like even threatening, but it just seems so weird. But hey, listen, the Pup Witch is right. Listen to the Pup Witch. You know? Bisexuals in a hetero relationship have no right to invade LGBTQ spaces. Bisexuals invading LGBTQ spaces. I'm really curious how you figure that. Oh no, the French are invading France. Yeah, literally, that's not how this works. That's not how sexuality works. You don't suddenly become straight when you start dating someone of the opposite gender. That's not how any of this works. Come on, what are you doing? You know, I just saw a Chinese source describe asexuality as those who are immune to the sexual attractiveness of others, and honestly, that sounds pretty badass. That does sound pretty badass. It kind of sounds way cooler than just saying, oh yeah, I'm not attracted to people. It's no, I'm immune to the attractiveness of others. It just has like a flair to it, you know? So if you want to use it from now on, and you're asexual, go off. The four horsemen of bisexuality. Frog, these colors. Not knowing how to use a chair. Are you straight up gay? I mean, to be fair, on the chair, we all don't know how to use chairs, don't we? I'm yet to meet a queer person that knows how to sit in a chair properly. Like, we know how to sit in a chair properly, like logically, we know how it would need to look, but it's so uncomfortable that we can't do it, and just like it automatically happens that we sit down in a way that isn't normal, you know? But those colors are pretty cool. Anything with those colors on, accidentally or not, is official bisexual. You know? If you're a homophobe or biphobe, you can't buy it. Frogs, you know, I'm very against people calling bisexuals greedy because that's, again, just not true and not how it works, but I do think it would be greedy if you keep frogs to yourself. Come on. Other queer people want frogs too. Please. My mom. You look so pretty, my dysphoric ass. Thanks, Mom. It's so dumb. Oh, it's worse if she knows. Like, if she doesn't know, it can just be meant, like, really sweet. Like, she just wants to be, like, nice. But if she knows, that is just a dickhead move. Oh my god, it's the same with my mother. Okay, since December is coming up, I feel like I can tell the story now. I don't know if I actually told it before, but either way, my mom has these 4 birds as Christmas decorations. They're like little small red birds that you can clip onto the Christmas tree. And I have 3 older sisters. And the year, like, I think she actually sort of outed me to her by asking weird questions, and I just couldn't lie on the spot because I was so flustered by it. Like, about binding and stuff. It was like in October, and then that Christmas, while we were putting up the Christmas tree, she deadass looked me in the eye and was like, oh yeah, I have 4 red birds because I have 4 girls. And every year before that, it always felt weird when she said that, but I was always like, that's just fine, like, I just don't like being reduced to my gender. But that year, because she knew I wasn't a girl, it's just so disrespectful and so dumb. Literally, what are you doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Trans people are gonna force us all to cross-dress. Correct, now put on the cat ears. Honestly, there are people I don't ever want to see cross-dress. Because just no. But listen, if you say some stupid shit, someone's gonna come around with sarcasm. The non-binary urge to be someone's significant other. I feel like in English you can like make up so many cute names for a non-binary partner, and in German it's just kind of a struggle. Like, it's a struggle. Like, why, how? Germans, please assemble. What do you call your partner that's non-binary? What do you call them? Historically close friends includes friendship bracelets, scissoring, secrets, shared living quarters, 700 love letters. Yes, very, very close friends. The closest of friends. You know, roommates, you might even say. Queer, not as being about who you're having sex with, that can be a dimension of it, but queer is in being about the self that is at odds with everything around it and has to invent and create and find a place to seek and thrive in, to live. Yeah, that's why I usually just say I'm queer now, because I'm just, like, what do you care about the specifics? Literally, it doesn't concern you, like, it doesn't matter, but it's so weird, because people will constantly assume that you're cishet, which is so weird. It's so weird. Some people won't. Some people will just be a little curious about it and be like, well, listen, I don't want to assume, so like, are you gay? Are you straight? What's going on? But honestly, so many people don't. And then you just kind of have to create that space. And it really helps if you have queer friends, because then you can like share that and share support. Because so many people will be really weird and hateful about it. And if you don't have to deal with that alone, that's better. You know, okay, if God doesn't care about gender and he loves all humans the same, that technically makes him pansexual. Holy music stops. Does it make him pansexual or just panromantic? Does God wanna fuck humans? Is he? Does he? I don't know. Dude. But I would love to see the face on some like homophobic conservative if you tell him this, because they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be really upset. Common sense. Okay, just because I'm bisexual doesn't mean that I'm into you, my male friends. Common sense? What? I can't read this, come on. But it's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's especially like the girls who learn someone's bisexual or a lesbian and then are like afraid to get changed next to them in the locker room, as if they're not gonna just be staring at the ground the whole time because they're so afraid of being gross to women that they would never like stare at someone who's just getting changed. What are you doing? Come on. My trans masc friends, I wish I had a boy childhood. My trans femme friends, I wish I had a female childhood. Me, who didn't really get a childhood the first time around, so I'm recreating it now. The only reason I included this is because, yeah, kind of fair. Like, a lot of things would be different if you'd have just been like born the right gender. Like, a lot of things would have just been easier. But honestly, the reason I included this is just to be wholesome, because listen, no matter what happened in your childhood, you can still grow as a person, and you can still find your own place and become better and heal. And a lot of things you can't get back, sure. Like, you can't really recreate your childhood as it was, or like as it should have been in a way, but you can still do the things you wish you could have done as a child, right? You can still do those things. So I do hope that you can somehow, if you're still like living with your parents, if you're still like very young, hang in there. It's gonna get better. Literally, it always will. It sounds so cheesy, and I hated it when people said it to me, so I'm really sorry, but it does actually get better. You know? Okay, this one. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it so often, but I still wanted to include it. Today in one of our math classes, we talked about LGBT patients, and the professor isn't taking anyone's shit. Student, what if we don't feel comfortable treating someone following that lifestyle? Find a different career. Literally, your job as a doctor is to help people and treat people. It shouldn't matter to you who they are. It doesn't matter who they are. The point is, you're a doctor. You're supposed to help people get better. If you start kind of picking who you want to help, literally just go find a different career. What are you doing? Most of my friends have to make big changes to experience euphoria. Me, who grew up in an extreme conservative environment, so just pants is really masc and affirming to me. Struggles, but it's also, like, it's one of those things. If it helps you feel better, do it. Like, anything, no matter how small or big, as long as you can do it and it helps you feel better, you should do it. You know, like, if just pants makes you feel euphoric, that's amazing. I can't imagine what that's like because I've always worn pants. I've always hated skirts, but if it helps, go do it. But the struggle being like, I really wish I still didn't grow up in this environment because it doesn't really make up for all the other shit that probably went down. But go wear pants, I guess. A friendly reminder, if you intentionally misgender a transgender person after you're corrected, you're transphobic. And I know a lot of people don't care and try to be transphobic on purpose. But literally, why would you go out of your way to be a shitty human? It's still, it'll never make sense to me, will it? Oh well. Me is attached to my stuffed animals and childhood blankie. My friend. Lol, that's such a girly thing to do. We're 16, get rid of that shit. My dysphoria. Me, not wanting to get rid of anything. No. Listen, why are people like this? Why are people like this? You know, literally, if it makes you feel better, again, just do it. Just kick the friend out of your life and keep your stuffies and your blankie. You know, who gives a shit? Literally, if it makes you feel better, why do they even care? And if they're your friend, why are they even judging you for it? Literally, if I go to a friend's house and I see stuffed animals, I'm just gonna be excited. But even if I wouldn't be excited about it, honestly, why would you judge them for it? What are you doing? Parents. Yeah, our daughter's probably straight. Their straight daughter's playlist. Wish You Were Gay, Billie Eilish. Boyfriend, Dove Cameron. I don't actually know this one, but Slumber Party, yeah. Oh well. Girls, Girl in Red. Well, Girl in Red is latest where it fell apart. Slumber Party? Just no. Just no. I don't know, Boyfriend. Wish You Were Gay. I think it's one of those songs that straight people start to vibe with before realizing they're gay. How old is that song now? It's quite old. Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, yes, but I already knew I was queer. Oh well. But do straight people listen to Billie Eilish? I think they probably do, but if this is your favorite song, I have some news for you. And that was all the memes that I have. I hope that you're sufficiently queer today. That you were sufficiently queer today if it's in the evening. And that you have people to recharge your queer with. And if you don't, you at least gotta stay hydrated. And hang in there. And hopefully meet other queer people one day to refill your queer. So until then, I will just be back every 3 days to remind you to drink and to share fun memes with you. And yeah, I will be back in 3 days.